opposed to what Oprah Winfrey's net worth is, it makes her net worth look minuscule. That's just $1 trillion, $1,000 billion. And we are in approximately $20 trillion debt. Our national GDP, which is one of the highest in the world, is $14 trillion annually. Our government nets approximately $2.8 trillion annually in tax revenue. That is what the government operates out of. And that is not free and clear money. That is their portion of that 14 trillion that the government utilizes to pay all expenses, healthcare, retirements, all our budgetary obligations, paying the military, federal government, Obamacare, so forth, so on, TANF, whatever benefits are provided by our nation, that money comes out of the government's budget. We are approximately $800 billion short annually. We borrow that from other nations, and when we operate in other theaters for combat purposes, we end up borrowing even more, as in supporting the Iraqi war and the war in Afghanistan. Those two wars on terror have cost us tremendously. Prior to President Obama's going into office, the Bush administration had ran our debt up to approximately 12 trillion. So just within the time that President Obama's been in office, trying to undo the damage from two failed wars, we end up surmounting another approximately $5 trillion in debt. And this is just within the 5 years that he has been in office. So at the rate that we're going, my point is that someone eventually we knew would come knocking. So if this is that point, the end of the United States of America, and those individuals are coming to collect the trillions of dollars in which we have loaned it, or they have loaned us, those individuals would be China and some of the Arab nations who have loaned us billions and billions and trillions of dollars. So let's go back and look at the underground areas of this tunnel that runs underneath this new fortress, or the new headquarters for the New World Order, as it has been discussed or alluded to be. You will see there are quite significant networks. There are roads that are large enough for two semi-tractor trailer trucks to simultaneously bypass each other. This facility has fully self-sustaining capabilities to grow food and raise animals. It has railroad systems. It has a fully self-sufficient water supply and air or oxygen generation systems, the whole 9 yards. At the end, you will see a staging area where there are buses and different vehicles that are green technology vehicles, so that they will be able to bring in the chosen who will reside in this location. For what purposes, I'm not quite sure. Some have said that there are things going on in the atmosphere that suggest that there may be a solar flare, and which may cause some degree of an Armageddon. Others are saying that it's just time for our global borders to come down and for our nations to merge into one global community. So without further ado, I'll let you look at the footage and I'll come back and we're going to talk about some of that. But this is your boy Phantom again, keeping it real. Stand by.
We cover a dozen caves or a dozen cities underground. And, to your knowledge, what are they used? Why underground and why a dozen of them? To provide the end of the world.
At any moment, the team can be stopped by armed security guards. moment and drives inside. I make sure we've got cameras rolling. This place isn't only the largest underground facility in the area, they say it's the largest in the world. Look at this. They got room for 2 lanes of 18-wheelers. The road literally goes on for miles. Look, there, it's branching off again. Who knows where that leads? Maybe even to the Huff House.
Do you think they're watching us right now? Yeah. And this thing's hooked up to railroad too.
This facility covers 50 million square feet, all underground, all climate controlled. They got warehouses for food, data, all sorts of things. Offices, manufacturing, even underground farming, and stockpiles of crude oil. Oh yeah, there's plenty of space to live in. You can fit thousands of people here, if you want to save that many.
Well, you could definitely hide out from the world above. Use stuff like this, no doubt about it.
I think places like this exist in the world. Yeah, this is scale. You can store anything now.
This is huge. This is an underground city. And there are dozens of these across the region. This is starting to look a lot like conspiracy fact.
That definitely answers the question of why here.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that type of round rock work generally anywhere else in the country.
We head back into daylight. And what do you know? Just across the way, railroad tracks. And parking lots full of buses and green energy vehicles. It's like they got door-to-door transportation for the chosen few. When it's time to move inside and weld those doors shut.
Is that a coincidence? It just happens. It just happens to be there.
I don't necessarily think it'd be a good place to live, but it would be a good place to survive.
So, when we look at this footage, we have to ask ourselves, as I said, what's really going on. It's pretty obvious that you don't expend that degree of resources just to create some facility that is not going to be utilized.